So good evening, everyone, and welcome to our information session on the Master of Education. My name is Brenda Venegas, and I am the recruitment counselor at UST MAX Center here in Conroe. Today, we're going to be talking about all the great concentrations that are in the Master of Education program at the University of St. Thomas. We're really happy that everyone's here joining us today. So, as I said, my name is Brenda Venegas, recruitment counselor here at UST MAX Center. We are a microcampus of the University of St. Thomas, located in downtown Conroe, and we're here to serve the community of Montgomery County. We opened in October of 2020, and we are right in the heart of downtown Conroe across the courthouse. And what do we do? We are here to provide online classes and on-site support. So we have a variety of online degrees from the Masters of Education that you will learn about today to Masters in Nursing, Business, Theology, and so much more, as well as associate degrees, and all of those are available completely online. We also have continuing education opportunities, cultural programming, community partnerships, and our space is open for current students to come in, sign in for classes, use it as study space, and also an outpost for alumni. Later on, you're going to hear a little bit more about the events that we have going on here at UST MAX. Right now, we have a couple of really great ones coming up next week, a luminary lecture, and we have a continuing a writing course coming up as well. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about that later. But to start, as I mentioned, today we're going to talk about the Masters of Education. So some of the concentrations that you will hear about are the ones that you see on the screen. The curriculum and instruction, school counselor education with certification, educational diagnostician, as well as with certificate, educational leadership with principal certificate, and bilingual education program. And with us today, I'm not going to talk about all these programs. I'm going to let the experts do it. So we have a great group of faculty members from the University of St. Thomas that are going to share about all of these different concentrations. And throughout the session, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them in on the chat. And then towards the end, we're going to have a moment for questions. And so to open it up today, I'm going to introduce Dr. Nikki Landry, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the Masters of Education and who is going to be joining us today as well. Dr. Landry.
Thank you so much, Brenda. It's an honor to be here with you all, and I really appreciate you all thinking of us and possibly choosing us as your choice to further your education. My name is Dr. Nikki Landry, and I serve as Assistant Dean for Graduate Programs in the School of Education and Human Services. Our Interim Dean, Dr. Annalisa Gonzalez, wanted to be here with you this evening, but she had so many obligations. She knows she's in good hands because she has the best faculty in the universe. So I am very excited to talk to you a little bit about our graduate programs. I think the thing that really sets us apart from other graduate programs locally and nationally is the personal touch and the fact that we like to really nurture our students for success. We do some hand holding, but we also coach you and train you along the way so that you have the tools and build your capacity for great success in your designated areas. Our faculty has always been very hands-on with students, and it has always been very important to us and the mission of our department to make sure that students' needs are met. We have a great, talented group of faculty who serve our students with national recognition, research nationally, outstanding service in teaching, and we come together as a faculty to assist each other and cross-collaborate as well. We have been nationally recognized with CAPE, who is the accrediting body for educational preparation programs. And we also currently have accreditation through TEA for our licensure programs. I'm very excited to introduce each of them, and they'll have an opportunity to give you all insight on the various programs. I think whatever your specialization is, what you'd like to specialize in rather, is great. And I am so excited that you all are going to be in such great hands. And if each of you will just wave before we get into the programs in addition to, but we have Dr. Jenny Rimbaugh, who is our bilingual dual language professor. We have Dr. Beth Barrett, who's representing Diagnostician. She's here with us today. Dr. Torres, who is our director, had another obligation. Dr. Emiliano Gonzalez, who is also a professor of the Curriculum and Instruction strand. Dr. Virginia Liker, who is our chair for educational leadership. And for those of you that may eventually have aspirations to the superintendency, we do offer that strand in our doctoral program. We have Dr. Jawan Cooper, who's our director for school counseling. And we also have Dr. Ann Kituri, who is our director for research. So you all couldn't be in better hands, and I think you're going to gain a lot of insight from our professors and instructors and assistant professors. Please, make sure you think about your questions, drop them in the chat. We'll be happy to try to get to as many of them as possible, especially as we approach the end. But to be honest with you, 5 minutes really does not do the faculty that represents the School of Education the justice. And you all will see that as you hear them speak to you today. So without further ado, we will follow the agenda that Brenda has given us. And who's up first for us today, Brenda?
So up first, yes, Dr. Ann Kituri is going to talk to us a little bit about the research.
Thank you so very much. Yes, so I thought maybe the best way to introduce the research program was to just go ahead and give you a test of what previous students have said about, what they think the program is. And in 5 minutes, obviously, you can't read all of that, but I hope, in the video that somebody will be able to read that at leisure. These were 2 students that took the course in the fall. And that was how they define what their takeaway from the course was. And I think that's a good first introduction to the research program. Now, the research program serves all the master's degree programs of the School of Ed, from leadership to curriculum and instruction, to school counseling to the DIAD program. And so we get to have the beautiful privilege to interact and work with students from all the degree programs, and that is indeed a privilege. In a nutshell, the research program seeks to develop well-rounded scholar practitioners. We don't just want to develop academics, but we also want to produce researchers who can excel within the academic field, but also excel within the K-12 or the medical field or whatever, the DIAC field, the school counseling field, that when you come through the School of Education degree program and you participate and excel in research, that you're able to take that back into the K-12 field, whether you're a school leader, whether you're a counselor, whether you're a DIAC, that you're able to use action research to understand what the issue is in your field of specialization and use data to inform decisions and programming that you bring to your school and to the students that you serve and the larger community that's served by the school. We have two courses in research. The introductory course is Education Research and Scholarly Writing. That it introduces you to action research, also introduces you to scholarly writing, and demystifies the APA academic and scholarly writing within the courses that you take through the rest of your program. This is a course that you probably will take in your first semester in most of the degree programs, if not all of them. And so we really take that privilege very seriously and make sure that within this Education Research and Scholarly Writing course, that we're giving you a really good introduction to scholarly writing that will prepare and equip you with the skills that you need to write with ease and successfully navigate the rest of your coursework. The second class in the series is taken at the end of your degree program in leadership and in school counseling and in the DIAD program. And it's the Education Research Design and Data Analysis. In this, you get to work in very close collaborative teams, and you get to do a lot of hands-on research, both of individual interest to you, but also learning how to work in a team, which is how most of the K-12 works. I had asked a student who is taking the course this semester to maybe do a better job of introducing what the program means to her.
My name is Erica Celeste Rashawn, and I am in Counseling 6327 with Dr. G for this spring semester. So Counseling 6327 Action Research has made me appreciate research. As an undergraduate, I would hear the word research and I would cringe, I would shudder because I was pretty fair at researching, but I didn't like researching. But after taking this class, we're almost halfway through, I can see how the action research with the quantitative, the qualitative, and the mixed methods portions of research, I can see how that will tie into my future as a school counselor. Dr. G has made research fun. I'm actually enjoying my research topic, and Dr. G does a great job.
So I'll just cut it short at that point because you'll be able to watch it in the actual larger, when the audio recording is released, you'll be able to, to watch and hear her entire presentation. I only had 5 minutes and I'm hoping that I've kept to them. Thank you so much for the privilege and the opportunity to share this with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. G. Now we're going to continue with Dr. Emiliano Gonzalez, who's going to talk about curriculum and instruction.
All right, so good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Gonzalez, and I am the Director for Curriculum and Instruction. And I also have a few slides, and I won't take up more than 5 minutes, so I try to compact as much as I can. I just wanted to speak on the features of the CNI program. It's 100% online for the students that want to do it from home at their own leisure, at their own time. There is financial aid available for all graduate students. It's a one-year master's. It used to be a little bit longer, but we worked it out where it's only 30 hours now. And it's a start and end date. What I mean by that is if you start, like, let's say in the summer, the first summer session, you go through the second summer, the fall, the spring, and then you end that first summer session. So whatever semester you start in is when you end. One of the good features about the master's program is that there are no texts to purchase. Every content, every course, every class is article-based. So all the articles, all the readings are on Blackboard. So you don't have to purchase books, only for the research courses, but I have no control of that, those courses. A really good thing that a lot of students like is there are no exams in the course, but you are required to do a capstone project for each class. So pretty much it's a accumulation of all that we've done in the course readings in relation to the content of the class, and then you are to create a project, or it's all broken down for you. So students really like it because they take ownership, and it's basically based around what students will do once they are curriculum directors or if they're instructional coaches or whatever it may be. Career opportunities. People always, well, what can I do with CNI? There's a lot of different things you can do. So I'm just going to speak about a few things. Of course, you can be a curriculum director of a specific district, or whether you're in a public school or private school, parochial, whatever it may be. Many times they're called instructional coaches or specialists. One of the things that I work well with is with Dr. Leiker with the principal leadership for 5 more courses in ed leadership. You can take the exam, and if you pass it, you get your leadership certification along with a CNI specialization. You may work or be able to work in private, public, parochial, magnet, or charter schools. A lot of people work in museums or in religious organizations writing curriculum for their respective organization. Or some people work for textbook companies and curriculum companies like I used to. You can work in government organizations like TEA or IDRA or others. And one of the things that I added that I deliberately did was you can be a professor at a community college, because The law requires that you have 18 hours of specialized courses in a content area, and you can teach at a community college. So in the masters, the CNI masters, there are 21 hours. I went over 3 so that you won't have any issues if you want to teach in a community college. Some of the titles that are known around that you've probably heard are like curriculum specialist, curriculum coordinator, developer, instructional specialist, instructional coach, training development specialist, or a K-12 lead teacher. So there's a lot of different things you can do, and I know that we only have about 5 minutes, so it's kind of difficult to really get into the knickknacks of all those things, but here's my contact information, Gonzalez at St. Tommy DU, or you can always call me directly at my cell, 713-898-6805. So I know it sounds like an advertising commercial, but there it is. So thank you, and hopefully some of you will be interested, and let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Gonzalez.
Okay.
Next, we have Dr. Beth Brett, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about educational diagnostician.
Well, yes, my name is Dr. Beth Barrett, but I'm here impersonating Dr. Tara Torres, who is the director of the Educational Diagnostician with Certificate program. I want to start my timer as well. There we go. And I thought it might be important to let those who are considering this program hear one personal anecdote from me. I, not too long ago, was sitting where you are in a live presentation, not Zoom. And it is not an exaggeration to say this changed my life. Between the curriculum of the program, but definitely with the enthusiasm of and the expertise of the faculty members here, it set me on fire, and it changed my direction. It turned me at the neck. One of the things that I get to work with is the Ed Diag program. You can see here, it does give you the opportunity to become state certified as an educational diagnostician with hope and a prayer. We will be both face-to-face and online. It's also 30 credit hours. Here we go. All right. I thought it might be useful to just give you a quick study of what exactly educational diagnosticians do. This definition that you see here is actually from a t-shirt from one of the last Ed Diag conferences that we hosted at UST. And what we do, what educational diagnosticians do, is they are strategizing 24/7 in support of giving students with exceptionalities a solution that is not just a band-aid, but one that really truly works for them over time. Our formal definition is a very skilled specialist who has been trained in how to apply diagnostic techniques and help plan and implement instructional programs. So that, in a nutshell, is what an Ed Diag does. That and so much more. This is a full master's degree in exceptionality. It's the program is 30 hours, 5 semesters, and courses are taken 2 at a time. All coursework is aligned with the state standards, and it does, again, prep graduates for certification. Our success rate with those who take the certification exam and pass is tremendous. And I don't know that specific percentage. I will find that out. But in the meantime, I thought it might be useful for you to see the different courses associated with this particular degree program. And that certainly will be available to you after we send out the presentation. Graduates are actively recruited by schools and school districts for employment. So this is not only an opportunity to get certified, but it's also a conduit to employment in many cases. We get calls and emails regularly asking for graduates. Also, we have a new program here at the University of St. Thomas. It will be kicking off this summer, and it's called our Associate's Degree in Pragmatic Studies. Our focus is to work with exceptional students who may not be able or ready to do a full 4-year program, but they are still wanting and capable of doing college work. Our EdDiag students were deeply involved in this project, and they're going to be deeply involved as we move forward. Our graduates stay in touch with program staff long after graduation, and again, we typically have been having conferences in which a number of these graduates come back and confab with each other. It's a very tight-knit community, both here locally and certainly within the state. I want to go back and make sure I tell you again, I am not Dr. Torres. I want to be like her when I grow up, but I also want to be like Dr. Liker and the Dr. Gonzalez's and etc. However, in that slide, you would see there's Dr. Torres's contact information, and she is encouraging anyone. Okay, that's my timer. She's encouraging anyone to give her a call if you have any further questions. The theme of last year's, I'm sorry, 2 years ago of that conference was EdDiags are slated and charged to be brave, to be kind, as they are at DIAG. So again, I'll be happy to answer any questions today. Dr. Torres will be happy to answer any questions going forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Barrett. Next, we're going to continue to learn more about the School Counselor Education with Certification, and Dr. Cooper will be presenting that for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share a little information about my program. Here at the University of St. Thomas, we have the Counselor Education Program, which allows us to train individuals to be school counselors. And I always believe that school counselors are the heart of every school. We make the heartbeat move, and we take care of kids. We serve as advocates as school counselors. So that's what drives the curriculum for us here at University of St. Thomas in our program. It is a 48-hour program, which is required by the state. Many people find that a challenge, but I actually think it's an asset because it allows us to expand the training that we provide for students in preparation to handle the various issues that children are facing in our culture today. Our program is data-driven. We work with the research department so that they can learn how to look at data, use data, work with data, so that everything that we do, we teach them how to use data to be very successful in the profession. And we also use data to make decisions and to serve them well. Our curriculum is reviewed by practicing practitioners, and they collaborate with us to make sure that our content is current and relevant for today. We use theory, but we make them practice those theories in real life situations. So not only do we train students for school counseling, this year we've added an addition to it, and we call it the PLUS program, where we provide an opportunity for students to continue their professional development, to be prepared to sit for the LPC exam, and even the option to be able to have a principal certification. In school counseling, in the education realm, school counselors are limited to being just school counselors professionally. So with the option for the LPC and the principalship, it allows our students to be more marketable. It allows our students to be able to move in the school system and outside of the school system so that they're ready for an exceptional career as a counselor. One other thing I want you to know about our program is that We try to make sure that we create a culture where students can challenge the curriculum, they can challenge the status quo of the culture of today, so that they expand their learning and be able to serve well. And that's all I have.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Next, we're gonna hear from Dr. Laker about the Educational Leadership with Principal Certificate.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting us all tonight. I don't have a PowerPoint because I would probably screw up the screen share. Even though I got lots of practice at it, I still mess it up. So, but the Principal as Instructional Leader program is a 30-hour master's, and it's a 5-semester program. We do include both of the research courses because we pair the second research course that Dr. Kituri described to you with the second practicum, so that you are conducting action research in the practicum. And so you get a real experience with that. And it's every student I have tells me that they really appreciate that particular approach. With the Principal as Instructional Leader Certificate, and there are 2 exams that you have to pass for it. One written and one performance, which I think is the best part because it's all your ability to show what you can do. But that particular certificate is required frequently to serve as, well, not only an assistant principal and principal, but also to serve as an academic dean or a curriculum director district-wide. But with that certificate, if you want to be an assistant superintendent, it can also help you there. And I do appreciate working with Dr. Gonzalez with regard to the people who get their masters in C&I and continue on taking the courses for principal certification, as well as in the counseling program. Those people are extremely well qualified to serve in any of these roles. But I used to love, when I was a principal, I was a long-term high school principal. If I could hire somebody with a counseling background to be an AP, I loved it because they could serve students so much better. One good thing about our program, there are many, but one of the best is that from what students tell me, all of the instructors in my program have been a principal or a superintendent. And so they can take the content that we study, some of the theory, and make it, okay, this is what it's really like when you're in that role. And so that is one of when our graduates give feedback, that is one thing that they do express. As well, all of my faculty, we do a curriculum review every year, and I have an advisory group that are current practitioners. So they come in and they look at our curriculum, and when we look at making any changes, they give us insight as to what we might want to do. I think that does, just like Dr. Cooper was saying, it helps us stay much more relevant and make sure that what we're delivering to students is what they will need when they leave us. One thing I have been able to do, and a lot of us can do this actually, if we do have a particular group of students, let's say 10 to 15 from a district, we are happy to develop our program to help fit the needs of your district. For example, with instructional supervision, if a district uses a different model than the state model, we can incorporate that plan within our instructional supervision course. And of course, we do offer the training for the state teacher evaluation. I would like to also be sure we know that you all know we do have a marvelous doctoral program in ethical leadership. Dr. Barrett is a graduate of that program. Ms. Sengis, who's going to talk to you, is going to be a student in that program. And it is a 54-hour program that I think is, it's a wonderful program. Every year we've had to turn people away from that program. So I think in conclusion, I think coming to our program, it is of course delivered totally online unless we have enough to make a small face-to-face and do a hybrid. But we do, I think that all of our programs, not just leadership, we are all very hands-on. We high-touch program. with our students because we want to be sure that you are successful, because your success makes us successful as well. Thank you very much. And I will have a degree plan with a description and my contact information sent to Brenda so she can send it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And the last concentration that we will be hearing about today is the Bilingual Education Program. And Dr. Ginny Rimbao is going to share with us about this program.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Dr. Eugenia Rimbao, and I am the Bilingual Dual Language Specialist. So why dual language? Well, dual language is the latest iteration of the bilingual programs here in the state of Texas. And more, it is growing. It is proving to be the preferred mode for bilingual instruction in the state of Texas. Our master's in bilingual education has a dual language slant. It is a 30-hour program, and it is based on the Center for Applied Linguistics' 3 goals for bilingualism. So that is, it prepares teachers to train kids to be bilingual, biliterate, and socioculturally competent. And as you know, that there are quite a few openings in the area of bilingual education. Our graduates from this master's program, which it's also a 5-semester program, and it is entirely online, go on to become bilingual dual language specialists and curriculum specialists, and also master teachers in the area of dual language. As I said, the program design is based on the latest research in the area of bilingualism. We work very closely with the dual language programs in the Houston area. And I understand that Conroe ISD has a dual language program as well. In the Houston ISD area, we not only have Spanish-English bilingual programs, but we also have French English, Arabic English, Chinese English, and Vietnamese English programs as well. So this is becoming sort of a very popular program, not only for Spanish speakers in the Houston area, but also for English speakers who wish their kids to become bilingual as well. So we're very proud of our program. As I said, it is a 30 credit hour program. They do take all 6 credits in research as well. And the courses run the gamut for all the aspects of linguistics and language instruction. So if you have any questions, I will be glad to send you my degree plan as well as my email address.
Thank you so much. Well, now that we've gone through all of the concentrations, we're going to open it up to questions. But before, we are going to hear from an alum. Her name is Cece, and she's going to share with us a little bit about her experience in the master's program at UST.
Of course, thank you so much, Ms. Benegas. My name is Jeren Cengiz. I go by Cici for short. I am a 4-year teacher at a newcomer center that is part of HISD. After I got certified, my plan was to always improve myself to become a better teacher. And one of the ways for me to achieve that was to go back to school and complete my master's. Of course, I was looking into different programs to see which program would fit my schedule the better. And of course, there's a financial component that goes with it. But now, if you are maybe a leader in your school or in your field, but this program will make you a better leader. Now, if you're looking for a program like Dr. Landry has mentioned, if you're looking for that personal connection with the faculty, if you're looking for that personal touch, if you're looking for that family-like, team-like, positive, collaborative atmosphere, UST is the school for you. Now, I don't get paid to speak like this. I am promoting UST, obviously, because I'm a proud current graduate. I've graduated back in December. I've walked in that winter walk, and I will still walk in May commencement ceremony as well. If you are really looking for a program that will help you, for you to grow, for you to achieve your dreams, whichever field you are in, this is the program for you. I had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience while completing my master's. I loved the program and the faculty, all this wise faculty here. I loved the program and my faculty so much that I went back and applied for the doctoral program. And USD was my one and only choice. I did not even apply nor considered any other school. I knew that I want to continue to be part of this faculty. And my dream goal, my dream is hopefully when I grow up to be like Dr. Landry and Dr. Liker. When I grow up, I want to be a part of UST faculty as well. So this faculty will help you to grow. They will invest in you. They will walk beside you, behind you, till the very end. They will invest in you. Every single professor has invested in us. They got to know us. They've learned all of our individual learning styles and prepared their activities and projects and tests just to fit your learning style. What are you waiting for? Do it, do it. If you want to get your master's degree, just do it. And yes, financial aid, there is that too. I applied to financial aid, got my loan, covered it up. So I had a wonderful experience, and thank you so much again giving me this opportunity to come and speak my experiences. This was a wonderful, wonderful investment. That this is the, I would definitely say that this was the best investment that I've done for myself, for my education, and for my career, for me to be a better educator, better leader for the future.
Love it. Thank you, Cece. That was awesome. I loved it. Thank you for sharing your experience. And now we're going to open it up to questions. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat. Also, you are welcome to open up your mic and you can do the question that way. I know that 5 minutes didn't give it justice for each of the presenters. So if anybody has anything else to add as well, you can add that now. I know someone had a question about if with the programs that give you a certificate, does that also give you a master's degree? And the answer was yes, that is it. The programs are full master's degrees that prepare you to do the certificate exam for the state.
I also saw one, Brenda, that asked, what if you already have a master's? So if you already have a master's from another university, you can get an additional master's with us. But if you are seeking certification only, we are in the process of working with TEA to acquire our ACP designation so that we can offer cert only pieces. But at this time, we're unable to offer cert only until that approval has gone through.
Thank you for adding that, Dr. Landry. Did someone else have a question? Okay, so a question, what is the best next step for someone who wants to start in the fall?
Apply now.
Was there a deadline? What is the deadline for the fall? I know there was one on the website, I think.
I don't know offhand, Brenda, but I can get you that information. So once you share, you know, we have some compliance pieces that we have to meet, especially if it's a certification. So time is of the essence. So if you are interested for fall, the sooner you apply, the better, but I can get you a more concrete date.
Yes, and then also, as Cece mentioned, there is financial aid and scholarship opportunities available. So you definitely, if you are interested for the fall, go ahead and apply as soon as possible. Okay, someone says, I have a bachelor's but no teaching experience. Can I qualify for any of these degrees?
It depends on the program. And so I'll let the chairs and directors speak to which programs would allow that.
Well, as soon as we get our okay from TEA, those who wish to go into bilingual dual language are able to apply those courses towards certification. Yes, and that would involve 2 years of teaching experience, right, Dr. Landry? Eventually.
I know for some with the licensure pieces, yes, some of them
Yes.
require 2 years
Yes.
automatically. Now, if
2
it's
or
a
3.
2 or 3.
Concurrently. Mhm.
Hello, this is Dr. Cooper with School Counseling. I wanted to let you know in school counseling, you're not required to have a teaching certificate, but you need teaching experience. So if you had some experience teaching in a private institution or one of the charter institutions, that teaching experience is considered valid teaching experience. So you would be eligible to participate in the school counseling program.
In CNI, you are not required to have any teaching experience. We do not have a state certification examination, so you don't have to teach. I mean, it's recommendable so that you can know what curriculum is all about, but it's not required that you have 2 years of teaching experience.
Okay, thank you all. We had one more question. Is there an accelerated option for the Masters of Education in Educational Leadership?
I'm here, sorry. Well, that's what I referred to when I was talking, that if we have a group of 10 to better 12 to 15 in an area, we can do the accelerated program very much like what Dr. Gonzalez has for CNI, where we can do it in, let's say like you start in the summer and then you would finish by the first part of the next summer. So it's already a 5-semester program, and we can do it in 4, or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we had a group that wanted to work together like that.
Thank you so much, everybody, for answering those questions. I think that was it. If anybody else has one more question, I think we have a couple minutes left. I do want to thank all of our faculty members for being with us today. Thank you so much for sharing. I've definitely enjoyed it. It's been so informative. And it looks like we don't have any other questions. So I have a few commercials to end with on behalf of UST MAX. And then Dr. Landry or any of our faculty members, do you all have anything else to add before we close?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope you choose us. We're
Yes.
Thank you.
looking forward to seeing you guys.
Yes. Thank
Well, and
you.
I encourage, I know you're going to get all of our email addresses. So if you do have more questions, all of us are willing to answer any emails.
Absolutely.
Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much again. And just to, I guess, conclude this presentation information session, I do want to invite everybody to connect with us, UST MAX Center, on social media. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and we will also be sharing this information session on there, the recording, for anyone who may have missed it or part of it. Also, coming up, we do have a couple of events that we want to invite you all to attend. Next week, we have our first luminary lecture. So this lecture is going to be by Dr. Michael Sullivan. He is one of our faculty members in the PV School of Nursing at UST, and he's going to be talking about serving with gladness. This is open to anybody. So he's going to talk about service, how we can better serve our communities, and it's going to be a free event next Thursday, March 25th at 5 p.m. You can attend via Zoom or in person, and we will have refreshments available for people that attend in person. So please RSVP. You can find the link on our social media. And then we are also having our first leisure learning, which is our It's going to be a creative writing workshop, and that's going to start on March 31st. It's an 8-week course. Starts on March 31st, every Wednesday after that. It costs $250, and it's going to be by Professor Dave Parsons. He's been recognized in Texas as a poet laureate. I think I'm saying it right. And so this course is for beginner writers that want to get more experience, or experienced writers that maybe want help editing a piece, maybe something that they're already working on. So if this is something that you or anybody you know are interested in, please register and be part of this first leisure learning at UST MAX. And we have a lot of other things going on, so stay connected with us on social media or on our website. Also here at the bottom, you can see our email, maxcenter@sttom.edu. Call us, and yeah, if you have any questions after this, I am happy to answer them as best as I can, or connect you with any of our presenters from tonight as well. So again, just thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you to all of our presenters. Hope everybody has a good evening.